We are back and we have three main Scandinavians. You may guys guess what we are doing, but we aren't doing the invasion. Those three nations are friends, and basically we are making three empires on those because why not? I wanna do three empires at the same time. So here we have it. First, what happened? Basically, what they made is gonna be yellow. Basically, Finland asked everyone that they gonna invade Baltics. So, firstly, Finland pushes in Tallinn, captures capital of Estonia, pushing further, and Estonia just surrenders. Now, from Estonia, Finland just start push to Latvia, pushes closer to Riga, capital of Latvia, and captures that as well. Now, this last target, the Lithuanians. Lithuania, well, your ghost was first targeted, then you would use Russia, Kaliningrad exclave to go over just here some way. You just go through the Russia exclave and then now you are doing your circlement there, cutting Lithuania off the Suez Canal and wait, no, this gap, I can't remember the name. And now you're managed to capture Vilnius, Lithuania capital. And in the peace treaty, Finland take it all three Baltics to their self. Basically, Suez Gap is the real name. And Finland, your exclaves have been taken to Baltics, and now we see that Sweden is next to wants to expand their lands. And same goes on to Norway. So both agreed about the Danish lands that on here takes over Sweden and over the coastlands. So False Islands, Iceland and Greenland would go over to Norway, meaning that Norway would be really huge on coast. So here we have it. Firstly, Sweden takes out this island, pushing their troops over to the capital, captures it, and basically Norway just have no other choice but surrender because they are pretty much connected with bridges everywhere. And for those lands here, those are actually false islands. But let's call them as well false islands. Others just have no other choice but surrender as well, making the expansions on colonies success on Norway, making Norway on Greenland, Iceland, and Faroe Islands. And Denmark, or leftovers of Denmark, are just being Sweden's. Now you have Sweden expanded with Norway as well. Now three expanding Nordics, who are now main Nordics, are planning one bigger expansion. Basically, Norway and Finland thought to expand on Russia, but they can't because Russia is more powerful. And well, those three, they don't have enough power to stop Russia expansions on their land. So if Russia wants, they can take over the Baltics easily and some Finland parts and Norway's parts, and they would finish the war easily. And leftovers of those three countries would be parted to Russians. So they didn't invade them. Instead, they go to south, invading Germany and Poland at the same time. Basically, the Finland and Sweden wanted lands of Poland and Germany at the same time, so this is reason they did so. Finland start pushing over to the Kaliningrad exclaves just so they can go over to here. And now we can see that Finnish are basically done here. Sweden just now push it in from Denmark, pushing to Berlin, capturing it, and basically pushing further. And since they had to did so, Sweden pushed in even Poland, taking lands here, and Germany surrendered to the Sweden and Poland just surrendered to Finland. And with peace treaty, borders have been made. Basically, Sweden gains from Germany about that, leaving this Germany out of expansions, and Finland, you take it from Poland about that, leaving all rest over of Poland also independent, but carving both nations up. So Sweden gains pretty much of German Empire gains from Germany, and Finland, you gain just some Polish lands. Basically, both three nations take it over Baltic Sea really much. Only have one nation with them, bordering Baltic. That's Russia, who have been on their way now. And basically, both two nations have this plan to take out Russia lands from here and here, but they can't really do right now that. So instead, we see that Sweden invaded Netherlands and Belgium at the same time, pushing in Netherlands from coast and to Belgium in the coast sides as well. And both surrendered, and in the peace treaty what signed, we can see that both have been carved up. And Netherlands, you barely survive, so you just united with Belgium. So now you're even powerful, Sweden. Now both three nations had done plans to expand to Africa. But firstly, to do so, we have to make coastal zones, because for colonizing far out of the main continent, they have to do some naval bases. So we're gonna make them have naval bases. Norway have the longest naval base borderings, because they are the most northern nation now. And Finland, you're the final. And for Finland, you're allowed to use Sweden to get out of your mainlands. Now, all three started to prepare to go over Africa. First, who managed to uh, sail their ships to Africa way, West Norway. Basically, Norway wanted to get those lands here. Not only those, but all the way here. You sailed your ships down there, prepare yourself against the invasion to them, and suddenly invade all those countries. And basically, with some easiest pushes, all of them would fail under Norwegian control, making Norway have first colonizements on Africa. But Sweden had also plans to go to south. Sweden, you started to use Brittany's cap here to go over to Spain, because those ships need to fuel. So you just plan to get your first colony into Spain. So you invade Spain and heavily push it now in Spain from here and forced peace treaty what made Sweden lost this part of their lands to yours, making your fuel sections from first colony success. Now you start pushing further. Basically, all of those empires allow each others to go over the borders, even on naval borders, so you can do whatever you want. But you didn't want to go so south, so you just stop it here, Sweden. And did invade from color pretty much of many countries on the way. And basically they didn't have chance because they are weaker than you. So it may happen to end easily on your side. And now, since you managed to get so much more lands from doing absolutely nothing, Finland would wanna get lands as well. So Finnish troops are preparing to invade. Basically, Finland wants those lands and here lands. So they are preparing to come to those zones. And for naval bases of Sweden, you got a little bit better of those. Since now your borders are expanded heavily on colonizing, you are actually doing well. And now comes the Finland's turn. Finland used your going lines and also Norway's to get over to here. Basically making your naval basing here and invade three nations and successfully take over them. And now we see that they colonized lands here, and now we can see that Finland got over to those four nations here to get them as well, basically using Sweden to get there and Sweden naval bases to get there, and this was easy for you. Basically, they all had planned to get all Africa under their control. So, if those three countries can take over all Africa, then they don't have to do much here and fight about those lands. So, they just did share plans and all agreed that those two should be Norway's as well. So Norway just forced them to be theirs, and well, also got islands from Spain, making them being really much here, getting all northern Africa under colonization was success. Now there's South Africa still remain, and for South Africa they had similar plans. But how would they do so? Basically, it was simple. They use same naval bases what they have going over from Finland to here and from Sweden to here, and they forgot finish one coastal zone to draw in. Much better. Now they are prepared to go further there, and basically Norway as first who made colonizements on one typical zone of Africa. Basically, Norway take it out this lake thing, if can be named, if it can be named lake, but I think it's nose of Africa. But whatever, Norway got that, and basically every Nordic country they force their language over other languages, so their language would be growing. And Finland, you want to just go over to here, just taking out those nations and also this exclave of Angola. And for one country, you made deal with Sweden. How about this country? Basically, Sweden wanted this land of the country, and you wanted south of that, so deal have been made. You claimed one side of that, and Sweden claimed another. Really much of made. And well, you haven't finished yet. So Sweden, you wanted take over two countries at the same time, and thought if you take them over, you could go on one country too. So instead of taking them over, those three actually united with you, making your expansions not really worth it. So you just stayed there, and Norway, some way you take that over, and now we would see that Finland would take this over, and now all three are bordering from everywhere one Central African nation, and all three would agree to split this nation up into pieces. And majorly from those get Norway. But Finland also got much of those lands, making both uh, all of those three countries getting new colonizement, basically making new colonies on there. And well, we can see that there's major of things happening on Africa. Now, Finland, actually, Sweden, you got actually here first. And Finland didn't care really much. They just got over here. And for other lands, this kinda made Africa fully being colonized. Making Africa fully colonized from Nordics were great idea. Those three got really much resource from that doings, and since they are all friends, they really don't care about each other being on their border there. So they are fine here, but they have still some colonies that doesn't like to be, you know, on friends with other colonies, and some also don't want to be at same union of empiring. So there's some African protesters, but those empires still stand somehow. And well, those empires have literally nothing to do on Africa now, because all of these Africa lands are claimed now. So instead of Africa, they refer to Arabics. Basically, Sweden was first one to take over Arabics nations. They take out those Arabics and also take it out of Cyprus, so they could be owning that here. And Finland, you're next to Limit. Those Arabics, making Norway being last, but getting much more than they wanted. So Norway, you got all those lands here, making all Arabics claim it as well. Now there's nothing to do on Arabic as well. So instead of Arabic, all three focused on moderation. So Norway, you wanted your one military base being on moderation, so you just thought those islands would be enough for you. Surrounding those and force Spain to sell them to yours, and for Sweden you just wanted on Sicily, getting yourself around Sicily, and well, now since you own Sicily, you have forced Italy to sell it, of course. And for Malta, you were military base of Finland now, making Malta's making Finland have smallest military base on known. And well, now there's much more happening here, more claims, and so all three agreed that they have to get to Black Sea as well. So they asked Finland to get the Greece out of this war. So they did so, pushing their naval places over Greece naval bases and shooting down some Greece naval ships. What made Greece actively think that they are invaded? And well, it made all Greece to go after to them, and Finnish troops are actually in Greece lands, and Sweden comes after there too, pushing themselves over Turkey's way and over Albania way, cutting really much of those lands. And now comes Norway in there. And after some fighting, Greece didn't have a choice. They are fight on a multiple of fronts, so they had to give up. And in this game of months, there were multiple of fronts made, and major claim was made to Finland. Basically, those are different colonies too. Every coast you see is used to get closer to from Greece to the Black Sea. well, now they are on increase, made them easily plan another invasion. This time they wanted Istanbul to get over with that. So Turkey has invaded, and of course Turkey is surrounded, so it's ending easily up. And since all those lands have been already conquered by some troops, it ended up with Nordic countries winning this war. And well, most of expansions have made Sweden. And for Finland, you did gain some lands here, but you didn't really want to get them, but you take them anyways. Now, since all three you are on the Black Sea, you all have lands to go discover and colonize, and Turkey is really carved up. So now we see that there's so many new Black Sea coastings countries, but majorly we see that there's not much happening. So now we can see that all take different countries to invade. Finland take Georgia, Norway take Bulgaria, and finally Sweden, you take Ukraine. Basically, why you guys choose those countries? Because if you take one country, you would end up being splitting those lands. First to finish the war was Norway. Now all of them have finished their invasions and gained lands, and now there's done many things on here, and now now they all have planned to go over Americans and take from America's colonies. So firstly, who did go over America was Norway. Going over here and basically have plans to take over Caribbeans. So now they are on their way there, and immediately all Caribbeans under Norway's love, and now gonna be for real under Norway loves. And then comes Sweden, who actually wants lands from here. And those lands are Central Americans. And immediately all Central Americans are under Sweden laws. Then all lands that Finland should go further, taking over final lands, and those lands are Mexico lands, making Sweden being with Norway those ones who actually are enough with Brittany being their way. So basically, Sweden was first one expand the way of Brittany, and then is nextly expand Norway. And of course, Norway did expand there, and Brittany just had no other chance but just already gave up, or they would be invaded. And well, now we can see that major changes have happened. Brittany is spitten, and well, both are owning colonies there. And now the final thing what happened was absolutely nothing. Only expansions on ghosts, and let's see from couple years in the future what happens. So what basically happened after some years is interesting. Basically what happens with all empires happens here too. Also we cannot do one more here. And yeah, let's do here too. Every time empires rise and fall, this time it has been not been different. It's same thing happens. Empires rise at their power and fall afterwards, and making with them being differences on globe. Americans and Africans also. For Sudan, you have one neighbor here too, and here too. And since empires always make new colonies in their main colonies, it happened here too. They split up some colonies to make room for others, and some even had colonies change lands. Basically, this got in that colony, but afterwards it got divided to this kind of thing. This island was changed to there, so this is now like that. And well, talking about this, that's gone. And well, afterwards, what happened was this kind of Africa split away, and I forgot talk about that thing. What happened here? Like I said, this Africa, Central Africa Republic got divided. So, okay, I'm gonna fix these borders. Basically, they are divided like so, and for Libya, you had been some dividements made, but they are usually small dividements, making you just look like that, and some things happened here too. And some land changes, like I said, would happen every time empires rise and fall, like here, and also happened here too. Basically, Bulgaria got a little bit better looking, but also have differences. And Morocco, you have that thing break away yours too, and South Sahara is independent, and in middle that is one new African nation too, making sure that South Sahara would be independent, and this country got from Morocco and South Sahara both lands, making really different borders. And well, so hopefully you guys liked this video, and see you in next one. And also, whoever can count the most countries what have been formed on this video, basically all Africans and Europeans, new countries, Americans together, would get shout out from me. Hopefully you guys liked this video, and see you in next one. Bye.